If you have ever noticed a weird sewer smell coming from one of your sinks, and you just cannot figure out where it is coming from, there is a very good chance the answer is hiding in the pipes right underneath it. After 3 decades of fixing drains in all kinds of homes, I can tell you this is one of the most common problems I run into, especially in houses built before the 1980s. Today, I am going to walk you through 10 things you need to know about S-traps. And when we get to number 9, you are going to learn exactly how to fix this problem yourself. Plus, stick around for a bonus tip at the end that could save you from a nasty surprise during a home inspection. The first thing we need to cover is what an S-trap actually is. If you open the cabinet under your kitchen or bathroom sink and look at the drain pipes, you will see a curved section that holds water. An S-trap gets its name because the pipe literally forms the shape of the letter S. The water comes down from the sink drain, curves down into a U shape, then curves back up, and then goes straight back down again into the floor. That second downward turn is what makes it an S and not something else. You will find these most often in older homes where the drain line exits through the floor rather than through the wall behind the sink. From the front, it looks like a snake going up and down twice. If that is what you see under your sink right now, you have got an S-trap, and you are going to want to keep watching. The second thing to understand is why S-traps exist in the first place. Back in the day, running drain pipes down through the floor was the simplest and cheapest way to connect a sink to the main drain line. Builders did not have to cut into finished walls or route pipes horizontally through framing. They just dropped the drain straight down through the floor and into the drain system below. For decades, this was considered perfectly acceptable. Plumbing codes were not nearly as detailed as they are today, and honestly, this method worked well enough that nobody questioned it for a long time. So if your house was built in the 1950s, 60s, or even 70s, there's a very strong chance you have S-traps under one or more of your sinks. It does not mean your house was poorly built. It just means it was built to the standards of that era. And those standards have since changed for some very important reasons. The third thing you need to know is how any plumbing trap works in the first place. Every sink, shower, and toilet in your home has some kind of trap, and they all work on the same basic principle. The curved section of pipe holds a small amount of standing water at all times, usually about 2 inches deep. That little pool of water acts as a seal, a barrier between the air inside your home and the sewer gases sitting in the drain pipes below. Without that water seal, you would have an open pathway from the sewer system right into your living space. Think of it like a gate that uses water instead of a door. Every time you run the faucet, the old water in the trap gets flushed out and replaced by fresh water, so the seal stays clean and intact. This is one of those beautifully simple ideas in plumbing that has been protecting families for well over 100 years. The trap does not need power. It does not need maintenance. It just needs water sitting in that curve. And that is exactly where the problem with S-traps begins, because sometimes that water does not stay put. The fourth thing on our list is the siphoning problem, and this is the big one. When you fill up a sink and then pull the drain, a large volume of water rushes down through the trap all at once. In a properly vented P-trap, Air gets introduced behind the water so it can flow smoothly without creating a vacuum. But in an S-trap, that second downward curve creates a situation where the falling water acts like a piston. It pulls the air and remaining water right along with it, just like sucking liquid through a straw. This is called siphoning, and it can completely empty the water seal out of the trap. Once that water seal is gone, there is nothing standing between your home and the sewer line. The siphoning does not happen every single time you use the sink, which is what makes it so tricky. Sometimes the trap stays full. Sometimes it empties partially. And sometimes it gets sucked completely dry, especially if you drain a full basin of water all at once. You might go weeks without a problem, and then suddenly notice that awful smell. The fifth thing you need to be aware of is the sewer gas and health risks that come with a failed trap seal. When that water barrier disappears, gases from the sewer system start seeping up through the open drain and into your home. We are not just talking about a bad smell, although that is certainly the first thing you will notice. Sewer gas is a mixture that includes hydrogen sulfide, methane, ammonia, and other compounds that you absolutely do not want to breathe. In small amounts, hydrogen sulfide smells like rotten eggs and can cause headaches, dizziness, and nausea. In higher concentrations, which can build up in enclosed spaces like a bathroom cabinet, it can actually be dangerous to your health. Methane is flammable, which adds another layer of risk. Beyond the gases themselves, an open drain pathway can also allow bacteria, mold spores, and other biological contaminants to enter your living space. This is not something to take lightly, especially if anyone in your household has respiratory issues or a compromised immune system. A properly sealed trap is not just a plumbing code requirement. It is a genuine health protection. By the way, if you are finding this advice helpful, you should know it is just a small sample of what I have put into my new guide, the Ultimate Plumbing Playbook. It is packed with step-by-step instructions for hundreds of repairs that can save you thousands. To grab your copy, you can scan the QR code on the screen right now, or just use the first link in the description below. All right, let us continue. The sixth thing to understand is the key difference between an S-trap and a P-trap. This is probably the most important distinction in this entire video. Both traps use that same U-shaped curve to hold water and create a seal. The difference is what happens after that curve. In an S-trap, the pipe curves back down toward the floor, creating that full S shape. In a P-trap, the pipe exits horizontally, going straight back into the wall. When you look at a P-trap from the side, it actually looks like the letter P turned on its side. That horizontal exit is everything because it connects to a drain line inside the wall that is properly vented. The vent pipe allows air into the system so that when water drains, it flows freely without creating the vacuum that causes siphoning. The P-trap's design makes it almost impossible for the water seal to get sucked out during normal use. That single difference in direction, down versus back, is the entire reason one trap is banned and the other is required in every modern plumbing code. The seventh thing to know is what modern plumbing code actually says about S-traps. Both the Uniform Plumbing Code and the International Residential Code prohibit S-traps in all new construction and renovation work. This has been the standard for quite some time now. The reason is straightforward. S-traps cannot reliably maintain their water seal, and a trap that cannot maintain its seal is not doing its job. Now, here's where it gets a little nuanced for homeowners. If your house already has S-traps that were installed when the home was originally built, you are generally not required to rip them out immediately. They are typically grandfathered in as long as you are not doing a major remodel of that area. However, and this is important, if you pull a permit for any plumbing work on that fixture, the inspector is going to require you to bring it up to current code. That means replacing the S-trap with a proper P-trap configuration. Also, if you are selling your home, a sharp home inspector will flag every S-trap they find, and it can become a negotiating point or even a deal breaker for some buyers. The eighth thing I want to help you with is how to tell if you have an S-trap. This is a quick and easy check that you can do right now. Open the cabinet under any sink in your home and look at the drain pipes. Follow the pipe down from the sink drain. You will see it curve down into a U shape. Now look at what happens next. If the pipe goes back up and then turns down again into the floor, that is an S-trap. If the pipe goes back up and then exits horizontally through the wall, that is a P-trap. It really is that simple. While you're under there, give the pipes a visual inspection. Look for any signs of corrosion, mineral buildup, or slow drips at the connections. If your S-trap is made of old chrome-plated brass and the chrome is flaking off, or the metal looks green and crusty, that is a trap that is living on borrowed time. Also, do a quick sniff test. If you notice even a faint sewer smell when the cabinet is open, your trap may already be siphoning and losing its seal periodically. The ninth thing, and this is the one a lot of you have been waiting for, is how to replace an S-trap with a P-trap. The ideal solution is to reroute the drain so it exits through the wall instead of the floor. This gives you a proper P-trap configuration with a horizontal arm connecting to a vented drain line. If the drain stack is in the wall directly behind the sink, this can be a fairly manageable project. You will need to cut an opening in the wall, tap into the existing drain pipe, and install a sanitary T-fitting to accept the new horizontal drain arm. You will want 1.5-inch PVC pipe for a bathroom sink or 2-inch for a kitchen sink. Use a proper P-trap assembly, which you can buy as a complete kit at any hardware store for around $15 to $20. Make sure the horizontal arm from the P-trap to the wall has a slight downward slope, about 1/4 inch per foot, to ensure proper drainage. Now, if rerouting through the wall is not practical, there's another option. You can install an air admittance valve, also called an AAV. This is a small mechanical vent that attaches to a drain pipe after the trap. It allows air into the system to prevent siphoning, but closes when not in use to keep sewer gas from escaping. Check your local code first, because some jurisdictions accept AAVs and others do not. Install the AAV as high as possible under the sink, always above the flood level rim of the fixture, and make sure it is accessible for future replacement, since they do wear out over time. The 10th and final thing to know is when to call a professional instead of tackling this yourself. If your drain system is made of cast iron, which is common in homes built before the 1960s, cutting and modifying those pipes requires specialized tools and experience. Cast iron is heavy, brittle, and can crack or shatter if handled incorrectly. Similarly, if the wall behind your sink does not contain an accessible drain stack, rerouting the drain might involve opening up floors or ceilings and running new pipe over a significant distance. That is a job where making a mistake can mean water damage, failed inspections, or worse. If you live in an area with strict permitting requirements, hiring a licensed plumber ensures the work gets inspected and approved without any hassle. A professional can also evaluate whether your existing vent system is adequate or if additional venting is needed. For a single sink conversion from an S-trap to a P-trap, most plumbers will charge somewhere between $150 and $400, depending on the complexity and your region. When you weigh that against the potential cost of water damage or a failed home inspection, it is often money very well spent. And now for the bonus tip that professional plumbers swear by. If you have an S-trap that you are not ready to replace just yet, there is a simple habit that can help protect you in the meantime. After you drain a full sink of water, wait about 5 seconds, and then turn the faucet on and let just a small trickle of water run for about 10 seconds. What this does is replenish the water seal in the trap after the heavy drainage might have partially siphoned it. It is not a permanent fix, and it does not replace the need to eventually upgrade to a P-trap, but it is a practical way to keep that water seal intact between uses. This is especially important for sinks that do not get used every day, like a guest bathroom or a utility sink in the basement. Those are the ones most likely to dry out and let sewer gas creep in. A little trickle of water once a week in those rarely used drains can make all the difference in the world. Before you go, I want to make sure you know about my complete guide, the Ultimate Plumbing Playbook. It goes way deeper than we can in a single video, with 85 pages covering everything from clearing any clog to replacing your own water heater. If you want to stop wasting money on simple fixes, this book is for you. Just scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description to get your copy. Thanks for watching. And if you have not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you do not miss the next one.